Excuse me? No, you're wrong. Hey, don't you walk away from me. We've all had arguments and disagreements from childhood to adulthood. They just happen sometimes. And whether it's about something small, like whose turn it is to go down the slide, or something bigger like money problems, we all have arguments and disagreements. The sad part is that so many people don't know how to argue and disagree correctly, and they end up destroying a relationship over something that probably could have been solved with just a little mutual respect. Now, there's so much to say about how to argue and disagree and resolve conflicts with others. So for the sake of keeping things brief, I'm going to boil it down to two categories: how to automatically lose and how to have a better chance at winning an argument or a disagreement. Here are some traps that people fall into that are automatic losses. First, yelling. Think about any time you've seen two people arguing and only one of them is yelling and screaming. Chances are everyone thinks that that person is the crazy one, no matter how right or wrong they are. We have a rule in our household that the first one to yell loses. Yelling and screaming signal a loss of self-control. And once you lose self-control, you lose clear, rational thinking and the ability to listen. Also, yelling hurts the other person's ability to listen rationally. If you raise your voice, chances are the other person is going to interpret everything you say aggressively. Then, that could cause them to become more aggressive, and before you know it, both people are yelling and neither person is getting anywhere. Lastly, some sources say that it can take 20 minutes or more for your body to fully calm down after yelling. The chemicals released during a heated argument can cause us to say and do things we wouldn't normally do. And we stay that way for a while. Not a good way to resolve an issue. By the way, if you have a disagreement with someone through text, email, or social media, yelling can also include things like using all caps, putting that little hand clap emoji in between every word, or starting your post with things like, "Say it louder for the people in the back." Another way people automatically lose an argument is by using foul language. Much like yelling, it shows a loss of self-control and can cause the other person to take everything you say in an aggressive manner, which won't be beneficial for anyone. In any kind of disagreement, if you can't get your point across without using foul language, chances are most people won't take you seriously and you won't get anywhere. The next way to automatically lose a disagreement is to start name-calling, hurling insults, using character attacks, or physical violence. When people resort to these measures, it's usually a sign of two things. One, they've run out of constructive and factual points to make their case. And two, they're desperate and they're trying to tear you down personally to get you to give up or retreat so that they can feel better about themselves and hopefully save face. Finally, if you for sure want to lose an argument or a disagreement, walk away before it's over. Now, sometimes, yes, you do need to take a break and cool off. And if you need to, that's okay. Just make sure the other person knows. Not every problem needs to be resolved right then and there. Actually, it may be a good idea to take a break if things start to get a little heated. But if you storm away in anger and never come back to calmly resolve the issue, you forfeit. You lose. So now let's look at the other side. Here's how to have a better chance at winning an argument or a disagreement. First, pick your battles. You don't have to argue about everything. Remember, an argument needs two participants. Don't argue just for the sake of arguing. Don't argue just because you may be angry. And don't argue just because someone else wants to. You know who you can have a respectful disagreement with and who you can't. You know what rabbit holes are worth going down and which ones aren't. Sometimes there are clear-cut right and wrong sides of the issue. Sometimes there's a clear truth versus a lie. Sometimes it's just a difference of opinion. Sometimes both sides can actually be right. And sometimes it's choosing between the lesser of two evils. And if you're going to engage in a disagreement with someone, only do so in order to seek a resolution or at least come to a common ground of understanding. Second, remember the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated, no matter how they treat you first. In a disagreement, if you want to be treated with respect, make sure you're acting that way. If you don't want to be embarrassed, yelled at, insulted, cursed at, make sure you don't do that stuff either. If you fall into any of those traps, it's like you're giving the other person a free pass to do the exact same thing. Plus, as I've talked about in other videos, when you use the golden rule, the law of reciprocity works in your favor. It's natural for us to reflect the demeanor that others project. Use that to your advantage. Keeping your cool and following these winning strategies will shift control to your side, and in some cases, it'll cause the other person to keep a cooler head as well. Here's a few examples of what the golden rule looks like in an argument or a disagreement. First, make sure you're in a place that's fair and safe for everyone. You don't want to cause a scene and end up on the next Walmart Fights YouTube compilation video. Second, speak calmly and clearly and check to make sure you're coming across the way you intend. Number 3, don't interrupt. You want to make your point and so do they. Whether you agree with them or not, they deserve the same courtesy as you. And number 4, only speak for yourself using I statements. Don't accuse them of anything. And finally, number 5, listen intently and listen to understand, not just to find your next talking point. As Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. The third thing you should do during an argument or a disagreement, you guessed it, be resilient. Understand that not everyone plays fair. Some people are going to use some of those losing strategies that we just talked about, either unintentionally or on purpose. And when you're in an argument, it just happens. But you don't have to fall into that trap. You can be the bigger person. You can't control them, but you can control your thoughts, your emotions, what you say, and how you say it. And you need to, because it'll help keep you in that clear frame of mind. Finally, redefine what it means to win an argument. Yes, we all want to be validated. We all want to be vindicated. We all want to be proven right. It's our pride and our ego on the line. And sometimes it's our appearance to others that's on the line too. Whatever the case, ask yourself, what's more important? To be proven right and satisfy your own pride and ego? Or to say your piece, not worry about who's right, and preserve the relationship with mutual respect and dignity? Sometimes there's more value in simply being heard and understood than there is in being proven right. It's okay to agree to disagree. It's not okay to drive a wedge further between you and the other person just because you feel like you have to be proven right. Well, that's it, friends. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you want to learn more about some of these awesome methods, check out the Squabbles program for schools and the Raise Them Strong program for parents. I guarantee you'll be glad you did. And until next time, class is dismissed.